I was muted, so we weren't good. I was checking my mic settings, and the reason why I wasn't set up was because I was muted. So hello, everybody. So as of right now, I don't know if it's live or if they're just doing live tweeting from inside, but that's what I've heard. I've heard that they're doing live tweeting at least, and then they're putting videos on to News Nation, probably Court TV too, but I haven't seen anything from Court TV. I'm kind of following Chanley around on Twitter. So hello, hi, and welcome. If this is your first time here, welcome to the channel. If you're a returning Titan, welcome back. It's good to see everybody. I feel like I'm missing, I am missing a light. I feel like I'm missing something. There we go. There I am. Oh, that's a lot brighter. It's a lot brighter. That's better. Okay. I knew I was missing something. That's what happens when Vincent's not here to get me set up. Oh, and thank you. I got this Hollister, I think. Actually, yeah, I did, because I get all my tank tops from there usually. I go through them. I wear black, white. You'll see me in the same stuff all the time, but I swear I have 5 of each. I swear I do. If you guys wouldn't mind hitting the like button, we'll get sent out to the algorithm here, which half of you guys already did, or quarter, which can't complain. I will put in the channel membership if you guys would like to join. Just a way to support the channel and just to become a member. And then you get a lot of cool emojis and some cool perks. I will drop the link throughout the live today if we have like time and everything, just seeing like how things go, if anyone wants to come up and kind of chit chat. But before we kind of get started we have a little bit of time before court starts. So court starts today at 1:30 their time. So their Pacific time, I'm Eastern Standard Time, so it's 4:30 my time. Thanks, Judy.
Sorry,
I
don't understand.
She didn't understand that. Oh, I will, yeah. About the hearing, yeah. There's my dog. Hey, TS News. Was it the one about if they're... Oh, Core TV is filming it and it should drop it later. Okay, thank you, Stone Gator. So I know that we can always peep out on some other ones too until they kind of drop everything they're going to drop. Because maybe we'll do a 2-parter. I don't know. Maybe we'll just stick all the way out. We'll just see how it goes. How about that? We'll see how it goes. I do have the dogs out there. They like to bark sometimes. If you hear them, they're just being them. They're just being them. But I did want to go over a couple things before, we got started with everything that's going to be coming out for the trial, or not trial, I'm sorry, for the hearing today. But let me see something actually really, really, really quick. I wanted to actually tell you guys one more thing. If I can find it. How's everybody doing today, by the way? Summer's brother, update on Summer's brother. I think she gave one in the comment section, the chat. But her brother's back in surgery, and he's doing pretty good. He's taking a little nap right now, having his surgery. And they didn't have to use some of the machines that they thought they were going to have to use. So that's always a really good thing. So we appreciate the prayers. I hate when people tweet something and I want to look at it and then it's... it takes forever to find it. So. But anyway, so they're having a motions hearing today. I'll find it here in a minute. But I wanted to go over a couple things with you. Before we do that, I have like my StreamYard really small and I can't ever find you guys. I'm gonna put, I wanted to share the screen, but that's okay. I wanted to share this picture with you guys first and foremost because a lot of times we've been talking, like lately we've been talking a lot about Bryan Kohberger, and I just want to bring, I usually put the victims up whenever we start our lives, and I haven't done it the last few lives, so I just wanted us to remember, who's important right now, and it's these people right here, these four innocent people. We'll see what happens with Bryan Kohberger as we go, I guess. We'll see where the evidence takes us. But if they're seeking the death penalty, I feel like that's saying something, But I did want to go back over this from the other day, and I can't read it when it's that small. Let me see. I think I'll be able to read it actually. There's just a section in here that I wanted to go over with you guys because it's driving me nuts. So in the new court documents that just came out on Friday, the objection to the state's motion for a protective order, it clearly states in there that the officers found a glove on November 20th with unidentified male DNA, and it was found outside. They said they found 2 profiles inside and 1 profile outside. The 2 profiles inside they didn't specify where they were located. Neither did they on the one outside. But the DNA there was a glove found, it was on the 20th of November. So YouTuber Chris McDonough, he's a panel guest on Nancy Grace a lot of times. Well, Chris and his wife went driving by the house on Thanksgiving, which would have been the 24th, and they found a glove. So they immediately got an officer, sitting outside on duty to show them exactly what they got. So my point is, people are getting the 2 confused, and they're stating that they're the same glove when they're not. Like, they're not the same glove because the officers had already found the glove that they were, looking for. They weren't looking for it, but they found a glove on the 20th. This would have been 4 days later. So unless they're psychic, that just would work out. Well, my dude Vinny, our dude Vinny over at Court TV, I wouldn't have been so upset about it. Not upset. I'm not even upset. I wouldn't be talking about it if it wasn't my dude Vinny had him on as a panel guest earlier and was talking to Chris and Chris went right along with it. He was like, yeah, you found that glove and it was and I'm like, this isn't the same. I'm like, that's not the same. But I'm sure that they took that glove that he found and tested it. This is just a different glove. But when I heard Vinny on Court TV say that today, I was like, no, Vinny. No, Vinny. But I still love Vinny. I'm trying to rework my studio, so if you hear me kind of shuffling stuff, that's why. And hey, Crime Curious, it's so good to see you. I heard you on panel over at on CLL, but I was cleaning, so I wasn't in the chat. You said I'm the same. Some people, you thought it was the same one. Thanks, Vinny. See, and that's why I said, I was like, man, Vinny's putting it out there. I was like, that Vinny. Oh, I have to check, Low Bug. I just checked my email not too long ago, too. I thought I was staying on top of things. Was it from today? Nothing else on the DoorDash driver as far as we know. All of the clips I got together, it was never stated in the Moscow police archives or on their website. But it was stated in multiple news articles that they were reputable too. They were reputable. It was it was USA Today. It was in maybe the New York Times or something. But it wasn't, tabloidy places. So yeah, and that's what I said too, Dana. I thought maybe it was just all of those houses that are right beside the King Road house home, they have apartments and stuff right there. All of that stuff, all of those kids walk through there, and it's wintertime. It's the dead of winter too. It was they had snow on the ground a little bit when it first happened, and then they had that huge snowfall. So I could see somebody dropping a glove for sure. I think that Bio will clean the house, Diana, because if they don't clean it, when they go to destroy it, all of that dust and debris and chemicals can come into the air. That's the only thing I could think of, because I thought the same thing. Well, they just knocked the whole thing down. Janie said they were cleaning. Oh, did she? Did she say that today? I was actually on her Twitter. Let me go back over there. I wonder if she said anything today. Oh, yeah. Well, 15 minutes ago. Well, okay, let's get this thing started. I will play a video here later about Steve Gonzalez and how he feels about the death penalty. Spoiler alert, he's for it. But I'll play it for you later, though. It just came out today. So let me unpin StreamYard, because that's just crazy. I don't know why I did that. Okay, so it says, oh, look, while they're back with the car. So I'll play this in just a moment. It says, who is this though? Oh, University of Idaho. Okay. New statement from the University of Idaho. We are beginning remediations for the removal of all personal items for the families to receive as they wish. This will take several weeks. No date for demolition. Oh, wow. And then this one says, breaking, cleaning company back at the Idaho students' crime scene right now. I'll retweet that. And if you're not following me on Twitter, go over there. Let's play this one here. And I'll play it a couple times if you want. That way we can all see it.
Hey everyone, this is Chanley with Court TV,
And it's up as high as it'll go.
At the crime scene where 4 University of Idaho students were murdered last November. This is the home where they lived. It's now owned by the University of Idaho. The owner gifted to the university. The university plans to demolish the home this summer. And before they do that, they announced that they would have the home cleaned. Well, we see now disaster response trucks here at the home. We presume the crew is in there cleaning it. I've reached out to the spokesperson of the University of Idaho to garner any sort of response, what exactly is happening here, but I wanted to let you know as soon as possible. We just got here, we've observed this, and as we learn more information, I will update you, so stay tuned to Court TV. Hey everyone, this is Chanley with Court TV, and I wanted to show you here at the crime scene where 4 University of Idaho students were murdered last November. This is the home where they lived. It's now owned by the University of Idaho. The owner gifted to the university. The university plans to demolish the home this summer, and before they do that, they announced that they would have the home cleaned. Well, we see now disaster response trucks here at the home. We presume the crew is in there cleaning it. I've reached out to the spokesperson of the University of Idaho to garner any sort of response, what exactly is happening here, but I wanted to let you know as soon as possible. We just got here, we've observed this, and as we learn more information, I will update you, so stay tuned to Court TV. Hey everyone.
She's the cutest. I was following him too. I don't know why I went up to him. She's been covering this case since it started. I think she was out there actually, maybe with Nancy. I'm not sure. Does Nancy work for Court TV? I can't remember. No, she works for Fox Nation. I figure if they have it up this long, okay, so this is what I'm like, oh yeah, let me check my email real quick. Sorry guys, I was going to check that while the video was going on and then I forgot. Oh, it's the same thing. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Sorry about that. Thank you. But yeah, I was following her and I was following the guy from News Nation because they said that they're both going to put out like, he said he's going to do live tweets. I didn't know that you could do that. I thought they had to wait till the end of the day. That's why I came on now because I was like, oh, if we're doing live stuff, then we're here for it. You know what I mean? Just as you showed at Glowbug, that's what always happens. You guys always will send me something and I need to look at my emails more because I was looking and searching for something the other day and I think it was Riddler or someone sent me it. I was like, you guys are sneaky. You guys are sneaky like that. So I feel like that's what I was going to say about the house. Like at first, and I still kind of feel this way. I mean, personally, like, I don't think they're going to take a jury in there with all the biohazards. That would be 12 jurors, 6 alternates, 4 to 6 alternates, the judge, the prosecutors, that's 3 prosecuting attorneys, the defendant, if he wanted to be there, I guess, yeah, he's there, and then the prosecuting team. That was just so many people in such a tight spot. And they would have to go at 4 a.m. because you can't, if you want to get acoustics or something of the house, it has to be at the time of the crime. It can't be like 8 o'clock in the morning or 12 noon because the sounds outside are going to be different. So it's going to make the sounds inside the home different, if that makes sense. Also, if they want to get the point of view of Dylan, it's going to have to be at 4 a.m. at night with her door open. So I figured, I mean, if they do demolish it, I just don't like that the students have to look at that blood on the outside of the wall. Like that's just what gets me. Like I feel bad for the people, like the students that are there. I mean, if it's going to help the case, keep it up. But I didn't see like I've only seen a few people go to the crime scenes, and I've never seen anything like beneficial of it. And I've never seen anybody go inside a house for a crime scene. But maybe that's something I don't know. But I don't know. You never know. And if they did go in there, do you think that they would show that part? Because they didn't show that part when they took him to. They had like cameras, but they didn't show them in Alec Murdaugh's trial. They didn't show them. So take them in small groups, Isabel said. It would just. I would not want to be a juror. I would not. I wouldn't want to be a juror. I couldn't do it. Even if, like, I'm just saying, like, as a I was watching today. I don't know if you guys saw this. It was, oh my God, horrendous. I couldn't even look. I'm sorry, but cops, officers of the law, a lot of them, like, they're freaking heroes. Like, there was a mother, and I'm not sure where this happened at. It was on News Nation. This officer, I don't know how they knew to go to the house, but she stabbed her children. And I don't know if maybe one of the child, because they're both still alive. So I don't know if one of the children had like called the police, but the cops comes running into the house and finds the mother in the bathroom drowning her baby. And he's like, what are you doing? And he just like pulls the baby out and gives it CPR. And like they showed the whole thing on News Nation, like pretty much. And I was just like, I was in shock. I can't do it. But he saved that baby. So that's always good news. But, oh my Lord have mercy. I'm like, I'm never watching the news again. Okay, so that's what we got going from her. And then I can always play the thing from Steve too. Also, okay, 37 seconds ago. I'll tell you about it after I'm done. Well, he's no Bryan Enton. So we got to say that first and foremost, because Bryan Enton would have been first in line. Let's be real. Hey, Riddler. I was just talking about you. Look at that. Ask and you shall receive. It says line, and I'll blow up the picture in just a moment. Line forming outside Latah County Courthouse for Bryan Kohberger hearing, which begins in 15 minutes. This was 19 minutes ago. I'll start a fresh thread in a few minutes where I will have live tweet for the entirety of the hearing. So he's live tweeting. I don't know how they're doing that, because I thought they weren't supposed to do that. Now, wait, is that Bryan Enton right there? Hold on a second, let me put his picture up. No, that's not him. Do we see anybody we know? Do we see JLR? I don't see him. The line really isn't that long. 15 minutes? Really already, Jan? Thank you so much. Thank you. Good Lord. Let me see what they just say, and then maybe we'll just do the documents after. Man, because they're going to have a bunch out. Well, I'll be damned. What do they do? They do this like right before, like right after I come on live? Because I always check this stuff right before. Thanks, Jan. That's so sweet. Thank you. Let me see here. Oops, I just got kicked off of YouTube there for a minute on my iPad. Oh. Okay. Okay, so let's see what he's talking about, and then we'll go over to the paperwork too. This is a lot of stuff going on. So if I'm here, there, everywhere, just keep hitting that like button. Just keep throwing your DNA on there, because this is live, and we're doing live from in court. So, and this worked this worked pretty well last time when we did this. We were pretty on top of it. So there's another picture. I wonder if, any Bryan's friends there. Bryan's girls, guess not. Guess they couldn't make it out. They wait for you to start. Oh, did I miss something else? Oh, okay, so let's go back. because this is going to be fast, I guess, faster than I thought. It says Kohberger is requesting a stay of proceedings and the release of grand jury materials. That's what this is over today too. Also, that information is typically private, but the defense will argue it is necessary information to build the strongest case for their client. And then it says here, yesterday the prosecution announced it intends to seek the death penalty. It pointed to several aggravated circumstances which would qualify for the capital punishment, including the multiple murders were committed, the crimes were particularly heinous, and that the defendant showed an utter disregard for human life. Let me know if you guys know of a better place to be looking to, because I'm looking at Court TV and I'm looking for News Nation. So, and they're still the same. Let me do News Nation on YouTube. Just something an hour ago. Yeah, that's what I'm waiting on. Because I'd hate to start a document and then them like, start like doing something. But they did have a short video that we could watch on News Nation. It's a couple minutes long. We'll just watch this one. Because the one with Steve is a little bit longer. So we'll do this one. We'll see where we're at. And then we'll come back. This is only 2 minutes long. So, oops. Let me rewind it.
Now is attorney and former FBI agent Bobby Chacon. So, Bobby, any surprise to you that prosecutors will seek the death penalty here?
No, Kelly, I don't think so. I think they filed an intent to. Now, they are not tied to this. They can always change their mind. The judge can overrule it. There are things that can come into play between now and when he's ultimately sentenced. But I think that, the prosecutor made it clear that they have found the 5 elements, as Alex just outlined, that are required in the Idaho statute for seeking the death penalty. And they went further, the prosecutor went further and said they don't see any of the mitigating circumstances that someone would have to move away from the death penalty. So once you meet those criteria, unless you have some mitigating circumstance to send you away from the death penalty, they intend to seek it.
So the defense team wants to see more of the evidence against Kohberger, including DNA on the knife sheath and cell phone data that allegedly puts him near the crime scene. What do you make of that? And how might his attorneys handle that type of evidence at trial?
Well, the defense is entitled to see all of it, right? All of that. That's the discovery process. They're entitled to see anything, including anything in the government's possession that tends to make him not guilty, exculpatory evidence, we call that. So they're entitled to all the lab reports. They're entitled to some of it, so they can actually take it and go get their own testing done on certain items. So they're entitled to do all that, to test the evidence as much as they can. They're allowed to bring in their own experts. They're allowed to bring in their own lab people to do analysis, to challenge the government's findings. Now, the DNA on the knife sheath is a direct match. What fascinates people in this case is how they got to him, and that's through the genealogical investigative techniques that we now use when we get an unknown source of DNA and how we follow it to a relative and then the ultimate person. And that's of interest in this case. But there's no doubt that the DNA on that knife sheath is directly his.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider.
Okay, so if you guys are just now joining us, they are doing live tweets from inside of the courtroom, and then I'm going to get on another YouTube page too, just to see. So we've got 2 different people we're looking at we're doing Court TV and News Nation on Twitter to see what the live updates are, and then we're kind of going. I'm going back and going back and forth. Sorry. Kind of going back and forth just to see if there's anything else that I could find. I was trying to see if I could get on. And then let me know if there's another, like I said, like a better place that you guys think that we could be looking. Because, oops, I hate when they do that. I have that. I shouldn't do that anymore. On my video, on my homepage, it gets on my nerves. Okay, so basically we were just, that was about an hour ago that News Nation put that clip out. So we're just kind of waiting to see where they're going to be doing next. Let me get back on here to Twitter. I think everybody's probably just going into the courtroom right now, getting settled in. Probably waiting on everybody to... the judge to come in. It usually takes a little bit longer than if it starts at 1:30, it'll probably be a little bit, later. So I could go ahead and play the video from Mr. Steve Gonzalez and what he thinks, and I'll just keep refreshing in the background. So this came out today as well.
This morning, in an NBC News exclusive, the father of victim Kaylee Gonsalves reacting to news that prosecutors plan to seek the death penalty against Bryan Kohberger, the man accused of murdering his daughter and 3 other students at the University of Idaho.
It's a relief. I'm glad that we're in a situation of strength and the evidence is there, and we feel that we can, they can go forward with this.
The family's attorney believes it's a clear-cut death penalty case.
If you're not going to pursue the guy for a death penalty on a case like this, who are you going to pursue for a death penalty?
In just a few hours, Kohberger is set to return to a Moscow, Idaho courtroom for another pretrial hearing. His legal team is requesting records from last month's grand jury indictment of their client and are asking the judge to pause legal proceedings until they receive those materials. Already a key part of the case for both sides, Kohberger's DNA and where it was and wasn't found. While prosecutors said in a court filing earlier this month that Kohberger's DNA is a statistical match to DNA found on a knife sheath.
Maybe I missed it in the chat, but I did ask the mod Teresa. I asked Teresa, where are you watching this? Because you guys and Jan, you guys seem to be getting information that I'm not getting through my Twitter. So I asked earlier, but I didn't see it in the chat. Because if you guys can let me know, then I'll put it on something that, like, we can actually see them. Well, then, yeah. And yeah, true crime, that's really awesome about your son. I think that that's a really good thing. That's a noble thing. A lot of 18-year-olds don't do that. They don't do that, so I think that that's really noble. Well, thank you. I got my nails done for Ethan. I did the yellow and then I did a white again for the tulips. I'll have to show them to you guys again. Okay, can somebody tell me where they're watching this? Because this isn't going to help if we don't know. Or I guess I could just keep going with what I'm going with.
At the scene of the murders, his lawyers say authorities did not find any victim DNA in his apartment, office, home, or vehicle.
Is this your car?
He's had over a month before those search warrants were executed after the crime to throw away his clothes, wash his car, clean out his apartment. There's multiple ways to explain the lack of DNA in his vehicle, in his apartment. There's not a lot of ways to explain his DNA on the sheath of the murder weapon.
The legal battle is also unfolding just over a mile from the scene of the quadruple homicides. The off-campus home where Madison Mogen, Kaylee Gonsalves, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin were killed was set to be demolished. Before a judge ruled it should be preserved. Now the University of Idaho says they hope to have the house down ahead of the new school year. The Gonsalves family says the house should be preserved through trial.
I don't want to sit 6 months from now and hear somebody in the court case say, well, I really wish we could be in the house right now.
Once the case is over, then they can move on. But right now, it's the crime scene.
Bryan Kohberger has not entered a plea. A not guilty plea has been entered by the judge on his behalf. And regarding the death penalty, there's a new law here in Idaho allowing for death by firing squad if they can't locate the chemicals necessary for lethal injection. That law goes into effect July 1st. Savannah.
All right, Aaron, thank you. I want to turn now to NBC News legal analyst Danny Savalos. Hi, Danny. Good morning.
Good morning. So the prosecution is saying they're seeking the death penalty. So you wonder if that makes us think that they are very confident with their case. What do you think?
Well, statistically, one study shows that Idaho prosecutors seek the death penalty in about 20% of death penalty eligible cases. They only get death penalties in about 3% of those that go to trial. So Idaho prosecutors, it seems, are willing to try for the death penalty. They'll file the notice. That may be a negotiating tactic, of course. If they file the notice of intent, then the defense says, uh-oh, the stakes are higher. Perhaps that's meant to bring them to the table. But it seems that under Idaho law, the death penalty, which the Supreme Court has very much restricted, they're a little more permissive maybe than other jurisdictions.
How does it affect the case? Let's say this remains a death penalty case and it goes to trial.
Okay, I must be losing it. Am I spelling her name wrong? Because when I look it up, it says there's no results. I'm so confused. Where did Jan say that is she watching on the same one? I was trying to look. Sorry, guys. I spelled it at like you can see how I spelled it. That's so crazy. I don't see her. You're watching Alex Caprillo still? Okay, that's who I was watching. Okay. And then here's the latest thread. Okay, now I see it now. Okay. That's weird yeah, she didn't come up for me. That's so weird. I'm going to try to start at the bottom here. This was 4 minutes ago here. It says the defense is beginning its argument about the motion to compel discovery of grand jury. Hold on, I want to make sure I don't miss any. Yeah, I did. So I want to make sure I don't miss any. Okay. So it's already here. It says the defendant, Bryan Kohberger, has entered the courtroom. He is not in his prison jumpsuit, but a black suit and dark tie. He was also allowed to wear a similar suit during the last gag order hearing a few weeks ago. Judge has just entered, and we are now on the record. And then that was like a few minutes ago. So 11 minutes ago, it says the judge is addressing the revised dissemination order, says there is misunderstanding about who it applies to, says media misunderstood. This order also applies to law enforcement. So he is offering another revised order to be sure that it's clear. The judge is also making clarifying orders about cameras in the courtroom. There is already a very strict order in place. Now he is saying that the cameras that are allowed should not focus on Bryan Kohberger only, but show the entirety of the court proceedings. Please don't make this like Letitia Stout. But we'll figure a way. And then it says the defense is beginning its arguments about the motion to compel discovery of grand jury. Seeking an order directly they receive discovery from grand jury. Says prosecutor has not done anything wrong, but they disagree about when or if the defense is entitled to receive them. Let me go back. Oh, there's something else there. And then it says here 5 minutes ago, defense says it's making extraordinary efforts to go through discovery, says it's not a fishing expedition, but real items to investigate this case and prepare for an adequate defense. Asking for court intervention to make it happen. Defense listing precedent about discovery. So they really say, okay, so they're trying to get through all the discovery they have now, but they need some help is what they're saying, I think. So 51 terabytes, that's a lot, you know? Okay, so let me go back. I think we read all that, so. Yeah, let me refresh. Don't keep us hanging. Okay, so these are all like mixed around, it seems like. But okay, so 4 minutes ago, it says, we've asked for several things that we still need. In specific, requesting training records for 3 police officers. Defense is not asking for records of every officer, just 3 that have each conducted critical interviews with witnesses in this case, made decisions about the interviews, made decisions about evidence, and conducted other investigations. Defense wants records to show their processes. Asked that the defense has received similar records for other cases, but it's not accessible without the state's cooperation. And then it says, looking for information from FBI specialty team who used cell phone records that were used in the probable cause affidavit. Prosecutor has indicated that the defense will be getting these items, but they don't know when. Defense asking for a specific date. I have a question for you guys. I have a couple questions. I have one statement and a question. So if they get to stay on the proceedings, do you guys know if that will stay? Like, I guess, well, no. Will it stay like his speedy trial? So it'll just stay everything, right? It'll just stop everything? Maybe give them more time to catch up? I don't know. Not that I want to stay in proceedings, but. And then I had another thing I was going to ask you guys too. I'll have to think about it for a minute. So let's see what he's doing, and then we'll go back over to Channing. Okay, so the last motion to compel. It says FBI forensic examiner who told the state to look for white Hyundai Elantra. Defense says it has the communications between police department and FBI about date range, but defense does not have the official report from the examiner. Asking the court to create a deadline to hand it over, says that it's necessary for the defense to prepare its case. Says state has a duty to provide discovery to the defense, but not producing discovery can be due process violation. Given that death penalty is now on the table, the defense says urgency is required for all of these materials. There is a heightened standard now that the state has announced its intent to seek the death penalty. And these are very relevant pieces of information. He's pretty quick. Okay, I'm going to check Chanley's page and see what she's doing. Still at the house, it looks like. So what do you guys think about them going after the death penalty? Did you guys see that coming? I didn't. And a lot of people are like, I don't know why you guys are surprised. Well, I'll tell you. There's only been 3 executions in Idaho since 1977. Their percentage rate of getting a conviction is 3% on a DP case. I don't know. And they had, so the timing started on the death penalty, to start the death penalty was May 22nd. So on May 22nd, that's when the time started, and they had 60 days from the time to put in that they're going to seek the death penalty in this case. So, like I said, that started on May 22nd when he was arraigned. We were 35 days out when the prosecution decided that they were going to seek, the DP. And the prosecution, they still had 25 more days. If they wanted to sit on that for another couple weeks, they could have. In my opinion, I think it looks like they probably have a little bit more than what we probably know. And with maybe the files that came out like on Friday, all that stuff that came out, they were just like, okay, we're not messing around anymore. mean, I knew that they would probably seek it, but I just didn't think it would be this fast. So let's refresh again. Refresh. If you guys wouldn't mind throwing some DNA on that like button, it goes a long way. I appreciate you guys doing that. I really, really do. Also, while I'm refreshing, those are my nails. I went and got them done yesterday. Brightest color I've ever had on them. But I'm feeling the yellow. I feel like they're little tulips on my hands. I should have maybe got a little tulip drawn on there. 1 minute ago. So 2 minutes ago, so this is the counter argument from the state. It says the defense has everything the state has. Because, the state is, waiting on a couple, I think, labs and stuff to come back. It says that includes 10,000 tips, 51 terabytes of audio/video information, argues the 3 officers' training records are not material to the case, and those officers will likely not even be called to the witness stand if it went to trial. It says about the forensic reports, state says the defense is seeking a specific report that is in its final stages of the review. Says it will be turned over as soon as it's ready, which should be within the next few weeks. It says judge sets a date for the 2 final motions to compel. The FBI report must be turned over by July 14th unless there is an objection by the federal authorities. So July 14th. Okay. Well, we like him. He knows how to type fast. Okay, we're caught up for a second. I can look at the chat. They did? You did? Jana, I didn't even see that. Because it says the 26th. There's the wizard. Brooklyn said the wizard is here. I saw that. Thank you so much for ordering a candle. I saw that. I sent it out today. Thank you. And I think it was Melissa. She got a really big order, and I sent it out on Friday, I think it was. Thursday or Friday. So she should be getting it anytime. I'm going to tell you what. My shipping is faster than Loopy shipping. Like where I get my phone cases. I mean, love them to death. But I need it here in less than a week. I need it now. It's just something I want. Exactly. And I think that they do have a lot of, those are the tests too, that they have a lot of that I think they're waiting on those to come back, like labs and stuff. And I think we're going to see them, like, we're going to see a lot more evidence. And I guess they're just going to, they're under gag order, but they're leaking stuff out. So I guess just when it's just when the court filings come out, then that's when we get to see what's going on. We just kind of learn as we go. Hey, Bryan, how you doing today? Yeah, smash that like button, everybody. Oh, thanks, Janet. She would have been 9, Margot. Oh, well, happy heavenly birthday. I hope that you're having an okay day. I know you're not having a great day, but I hope you're feeling better that you're here with us. And hey, at least you're not in Bryan Kohberger shoes, Hopefully that made you laugh a little bit, because man, I would be, yeah, a nervous wreck. Oh, here's something, 39 seconds. Oh, never mind, he was replying, but we'll see what he replied to. Oh, wait, okay, hold on. Now I'm going to confuse myself. It says, defense pushing back about the 3 officers' training records. I think we already read this. No, I don't think so. 1 officer assisted in the search. Okay, so sorry. It says defense pushing back about the 3 officers' training records. Says it doesn't matter if they will be called as witnesses. If it goes to trial, they are still witnesses to the case. One officer assisted in the search at the 1122 King Road, did follow-up investigations, signed lab agreements, and collected evidence. Second officer did interview a key witness expected to testify. Oh. So the second officer did an interview with the key witness expected to testify. Wonder who that is. Also mentioned a specialty of working with trauma victims. Okay. Interview of key witness was one of multiple with the same witness by other officers. Defense says it may subpoena the officer if it goes to trial. Third officer did dozens of interviews, including after Kohberger's arrest. The officer attended autopsy proceedings, did follow-ups on tips, made decisions about tips given to law enforcement. I mean, if they only have, 7 officers on the whole department, I mean, how hard is it? I mean, you're bound to have been one of the officers on the scene, you know? You're just bound to be. I know I have to put his thing in my, so I'm going to have to put that in my Nightbot. Don't let me forget. That'd be easier. Then we could just a Nightbot. Brian, I'm going to have to come over and check it out. That's why I was like, I'm glad I'm doing my live today. I don't usually watch myself after I've done a live, but it might be entertaining. Oh, I didn't know. Mary Beth, you had a surgery? Oh, Lord. Hand surgery. Oh, man. I've had surgery on my arm before, and it's not fun. Twice. Well, they put some metal in, took some metal out. I'm like, okay. Okie dokie. Okay, I think we read all that. Okay, I just want to make sure we're not missing anything. Thank you guys for being here today. I really appreciate it so much. Do you think the court's going to, do you think trial's going to start October 2nd? Because I was like looking forward to it, to be honest, starting then, because I mean, that works for me. Not to be selfish or anything, but you know, because I go on vacation in September, so I figured, you know, take a load off and don't think about anything for a week. Don't even like turn on YouTube or anything. Thought there was something behind me. And then, you know, court would start when I came back, like after, you know, I come back in October. And then my birthday's in October. So I thought, ooh, little birthday present for myself. That jail courtroom is so dinky. Yes, Elisa. I don't know what they're going to do about that. Are they going to, I mean, you can fit everybody in there. You're not going to be able to fit very many reporters. How are they going to fit all those people, actually? I told Vincent that he should be the IT guy for like this case, like, because you have to be, like when they put in cameras, if one of like court TV's cameras go down, like they have to have somebody that can fix it like immediately. And he's just really stealthy. Like he doesn't make any noise and he's really fast at what he does. I was like, you should be working there. You think they'll do a venue change? She said, I don't know if they will or not. They seem to be keeping it there. I mean, Judge seems like he wants this case. Do you guys think so? I'm a Libra. I hope it's October. I'm ready to get this show on the road. Oops, what'd I do? Who knows? Oh, I know what I did. Okay, well. Let's see. That's 5 minutes ago, 2 minutes ago. Okay, so it says here 2 minutes ago. Both sides have rested. Judge says he will take it all under advisement, look at the written case law, and will release a written decision soon. I hate his written decisions. Court has been adjourned for the day. Well, damn. I didn't take long. You guessed Libra. I do balance things a lot. You think they'll ask for a change of venue? Well, you would think that they would need more room anyway. I mean, that little place is small. And I mean, it's going to be a huge trial. Like people are going to want to see this, even if it's forever from now. And that was, what was that? So they were comparing something with the Lori Vallow. Okay, that was what it was. Okay. Somebody was comparing, they said that the Lori Vallow trial, the reason why the death penalty was off the table, it was because the prosecution, it took them so long to give evidence and blah, blah, blah. And so people are like comparing that, the Lori Vallow prosecution case, to these prosecutors. They're night and day. They're night and day, because in the Lori case, people, that was 4 years, 3 or 4 years. They should have had everything back. They should have had all the labs. They should have had all that done. Here, we're only on 7 months, and they've gotten most of everything back. And, you know, they're trying to give whatever they have to the state. I was going to read this off of Jennifer's Twitter, because it was a really good point she made. Let me see if I can find it right here. So I was reading Twitter earlier, and I was like, you know, this actually is like, we need to hear this, because, you know, this is a lot of stuff. So it was her tweet. It says, law enforcement had about 10 days after identifying suspect Bryan Kohberger, and these are the things that she could, you know, within a span of like 5 minutes off the top of her head, think of. It says, determine associated addresses, write 5 search warrants, conduct site surveys of locations, write a 20-page PCA, assemble a surveillance team thousands of miles away, coordinate a SWAT arrest team thousands of miles away, conduct 24/7 surveillance of home in PA and BK, analyze all known past information concerning BK they could acquire via subpoena/search warrants, obtain and analyze cell information of BK, obtain vehicle information concerning BK, not only write warrants but get them signed by a judge, put together evidence response teams to conduct searches, work out logistics, travel arrangements for case agents and Moscow lead officers to travel, coordinate with forensic labs concerning the exigent, I don't know if that's how you say that, genealogy testing that needs to be done, conduct covert trash pulls in PA to obtain a comparable DNA sample and get it to a lab. She said that was like off the top of her head. But yeah, that's a lot of stuff. They was working hard. And you know those officers do, because I mean, I don't know. I don't know if in particular these guys do, but I believe they do. But have you ever guys seen that show, like First 48? Them guys don't ever go home and go to bed. They'll be on like hour 40, and I'm like, I would be done. See, that's what I think that yes, Rose, I agree. I think that life in prison's a little easier for the family. You know what I mean? Like, lock them up. We ain't got to deal with you anymore. I wouldn't want to deal with them. Well, last time when Bryan walked in, they need to be watching Bryan Kohberger. The last time the dude walked in the door, the cop was turned the other way, not even looking at him. And he comes in just hands a flaying, feet a going, like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, what the heck? I feel like the walls are closing in for them too. Yeah, they need to do it the right way. You're right, Brooklyn. You're right. Let's see if he puts anything else up. I'll check their... I'll check their YouTube as well. I couldn't think of it. But it looks like... How was it? Fast hearing. Is that the only one? Is that all of it? Because last time we got off here and they had another one, and I was like, what? But it says that they've closed, they've like, you know, let me see here. So my dog's trying to break in the door right now. That's pretty funny. I'm going to check Court TV really quick, and then I'm going to check like Shanley. 43 minutes ago she put something on there, but I guess she wasn't as fast as him today. Let's see. I was going to check, like I said, News Nation's YouTube, because they said they were going to be giving out or doing videos. Oops. And they didn't put any videos. So I guess that was all the updates we're going to get. Maybe they'll, I'm sure that, tonight, all hell's going to break loose on YouTube because they'll have videos and stuff out. And I'm sure there'll be people out there that, have their opinion. So I think I started a panel, or a poll. In the beginning of the live, I did. Okay. And then I also wanted to check to see if maybe Nancy Grace was doing anything. I thought I was going to show you something else. Oh, I think that was the end for him. Okay. I will put it back on this video because we didn't get to finish all of this. This was Mr. Gonzalez. He came forward and he was saying that he is for the DP, and then they're just talking at the end here. So I'll play this and then we will talk for a few minutes and then I'll probably get off of here.
Trial as a capital case. How does that affect in terms of the jury that is selected and the evidence that's presented?
Absolutely. So in these cases, it becomes really two trials. You have a trial on the guilt phase, and then you have a trial on the penalty phase. Yeah. And as they must in every state, they have to take into account the aggravating factors and the mitigating factors. And in Idaho has a list of aggravating factors. If the jury finds during the penalty phase that any one of them was met. And I'll give you an example of one, that during the crime, the killer committed another murder. That is exactly within here. And there are other aggravating factors that fit as well, but I'm just giving you one example. If the jury finds that beyond a reasonable doubt, then the defense has to come up with some mitigating factors, or else the jury must essentially impose the death penalty. So Idaho procedure creates a clear path to the death penalty with those aggravating circumstances, one of which, an example I gave you, if we get to that phase, it's not likely he'd be found guilty of one murder and not the other. So it might be a foregone conclusion once you get there.
That's a pretty strict statute in Idaho, it sounds like.
Permissive for the death penalty, although the Supreme Court has limitations it imposes when compared to other states. It could be said that Idaho is more death friendly.
We keep hearing about this DNA information. How likely would the court grant the defense access to what they want, like the DNA information?
This is interesting, and I'm colored by the fact that I am a defense attorney, but the state's argument is essentially that there are two kinds of DNA. There's what we're familiar with traditionally, which is STR. This is going back to the OJ case. This is traditional DNA evidence. The state says that they use this new kind, this emerging evidence, IgG or forensic genealogy evidence. They use that to build a genealogical tree. But they're saying we use that as kind of a tip, as a lead. We're not going to introduce any of that at trial, Judge. So therefore, we don't have to turn that over to the defense under the rules. And the defense is saying, look, the rules call for anything that is a scientific report to be turned over. This also is something that is going to be very compelling information. It could exonerate our client. We should get it. The state probably has a more technical, rule-based argument, and the defense has a more spiritual argument that, look, this is something the state used. We should get to see it.
Danny, it's going to be interesting hearing today. Thank you,
Danny.
Dang it, we're not talking politics over here, Trump. I was trying to not play the next video, but okay, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. Okay, I'll be there. That sounds like fun. Everybody will have to go over tomorrow to Let's Talk Live. Summer will drop the channel in the chat because she's awesome like that. She's fast at doing that. And tomorrow he's going to go live and I'll be over there. So that'll be fun. Be good conversation. Can you hear my dog? She's barking at something. We have a new neighbor dog. That's the problem. And there was one more thing I wanted to go over with you guys that came out about Bryan Kohberger today. And it's pretty, I don't know what to make of it. So I have been saying, on the channel, maybe, maybe, and that's a big maybe, it's only my opinion, that Bryan's family may have known, not like what he was going to do or capable of doing per se, but kind of just knew that there was something off about Bryan. I mean, because obviously his sisters thought something, according to that Dateline episode. What was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. Well, crap, guys. I just lost my train of thought. I'll get it back. Hold on one second. I just need to think. Sorry, guys, I had to get my train of thought. Sometimes I just have to like be quiet for a minute. But no, so remember how I was saying that I thought maybe Bryan's family kind of maybe knew something was a little off with him, but they, they probably never, I mean, in their wildest dreams would have thought this was going to happen. But usually when kids, like, especially, I don't know, I watch too many documentaries about this kind of stuff, but it always seems like whenever kids are in their like teenage years, that's when the trouble kind of starts, or like preteens. I mean, for some of people that are like, and I'm not saying Bryan Kohberger is, but I'm saying for some like serial killer stuff, it's, a lot younger than that. But hold on one second, my dog's doing something. Sorry about that. My dog was barking. Okay. Anyways, so Bryan had a little bit of a criminal past. I guess they dug up some stuff. I don't know if it's a big thing, because it could be. I'll read it to you, but he pretty much stole his sister's cell phone. So if you are dealing with an addict, or if you're dealing with a kid that's just out of control, a lot of times parents that I know anyway, they'll give their child, they'll give them every excuse under the sun while they're not doing something wrong, or they'll give them, they'll excuse their behavior in different ways. But there's usually always something that breaks the straw that breaks the camel's back, and the cops will usually be called, and it's usually over something like this, like a cell phone being stolen from your sister, or you took your parents' car on a joyride and they were just like, okay, that's the end of it. We're done, messing with it. So that's what I kind of got out of this, because who the heck calls the cops on their kid for stealing their sister's cell phone? Like, if that's the first time he had ever done anything. Do you know what I mean? If that was the first time he had ever messed with his sisters or messed with his family or had done anything, like, you know what I mean? Why would they, Ooh, the judge was snapping at the cameras. Oh, I'm going to have to watch that, Anna. That'll be good to watch later when they're able to release it. I like the judge. I do kind of like him. I think he's a little crazy. But so it says here, Idaho College killing suspect was first arrested in 2014. I wonder how old that would make him. I'm bad at math. Like 20? 19? 9 years, 19, so okay. 9 years before he was accused of unaliving 4 college students in Idaho, Bryan Kohberger was arrested in his native Pennsylvania and charged with misdemeanor theft for allegedly stealing his sister's iPhone, according to records reviewed by ABC News. Now, I'm wondering why that was a misdemeanor, because anything over $500, I believe, is grand theft, unless they count the phone with a depreciated value. But that I'm not sure. But if he would have been charged with a felony, his DNA probably would have been put into CODIS, and they would have found him a little faster, and they wouldn't have needed the genealogy at all. It was Kohberger's father, Michael, who reported the incident to police, according to the court records. According to the records, Michael Kohberger told law enforcement Bryan had warned him not to do anything stupid after learning his son had taken the phone. adding that his son had struggled with drug addiction. So his family was aware of the drug addiction. Bryan Kohberger's earlier run-in with the law, as described in these records, is only now coming to light as he prepares to defend himself against charges he killed 4 University of Idaho students last fall. According to the records, Bryan Kohberger was 19 years old when he was arrested for the alleged theft in 2014. He served no jail time, according to officials, but is now on there's no public record of that arrest or the outcome of the case. So why didn't he serve any jail time? They should have at least arrested him and taken him to jail. Did his dad like really get him arrested and then just go bail him out automatically? Where he didn't even stay the night in jail? Because a misdemeanor theft, if you don't bail yourself out, you're going to stay in there until you see the judge the next day. Now, I know about the smaller courts. Don't know about the big ones as much, but it says Monroe County, Pennsylvania offers first-time offenders the opportunity to enter a pretrial program called Accelerated Rehabilitation or Rehabilitative Disposition. So it's like a diversion program, which allows for charges to be dropped and the record to be expunged once the accused successfully completes probation. Martin Soto Diaz, an attorney representing the Kohberger family, declined to comment on the record describing the earlier arrest. The district attorney's office in Monroe County has also had no comment. Okay, hold on a second. Martin, this guy, okay. Oh, okay. They got themselves a lawyer. The family has a lawyer, but they didn't get a lawyer for their son. I mean, I'm sorry. But what? I'm looking this person up. I want to see, attorney. This is crazy. I want to see what you look like. Oh, disciplinary board. What? Okay, there's no history or nothing, but oh my gosh, 3 hours ago, JLR just made a video on this. Man, he's quick. The kid is quick. I just wanted to see what he looked like. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know which one he is. That'd be a question for JLR. And his computer and monitor. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know which one of these pictures is him. Like the one that JLR is showing is this cat right here. But why does he look like? I don't know. Oh, that's not a good picture. I'm trying to find a. Okay. Like this guy? That's who he's showing. Yeah. That's why I was like, is he just tiny or is he short or is he, I didn't know. Yeah, I was like, the short guy, Tanya. So yeah, well, Brooklyn, I'm kind of surprised that nobody picked this case up. That was like a high profile attorney and was like, hey, I want to, try to get my name out there. I was just trying to get the attention on police follow through and the extent they're going to find true justice here. Oh no, you're fine. I'll say you're fine here. And if you need to email me, I can put my email in the chat. But yeah, so I guess this is his parents' attorney, which I mean, his parents should have an attorney. They're probably freaking scared for their life, but I just find it strange that they have this attorney and, you know, I know he is Mountain Mom. I can't get over it. That's why I keep losing my train of thought. You were looking for me last night? I was on. We went live last night, 8:15. So this one, okay, so this guy here is the family attorney. Is that the guy that was spreading rumors about Dylan? No, but it looks like him, doesn't it? That's who it reminded me of too. That Justin guy. Yeah, no, it looks like him. It looks kind of like him. Let me see. It does look like him. So let me go back to here. So it says, Martin Diaz, an attorney representing the Kohberger family, declined to comment on the record describing the earlier arrest. The district attorney's office in Monroe County also had no comment. In a court filing Monday, Idaho prosecutors announced they intend to seek the death penalty against Bryan Kohberger for the alleged M's. It remains to be seen whether the alleged incident in 2014 and his previous alleged history with substance abuse will have any bearing or offer any clues in relation to what happened in the early morning hours of November 13th, 2022, when 4 college students, Ethan Chapin, 20, Madison Mogan, 21, Xander Conodal, 20, and Kaylee Gonzalez, 21, were stabbed to death in an off-campus home on King Road in Moscow, Idaho. A source briefed on the case told ABC News the alleged 2014 incident is now a subject of inquiry for prosecutors in Idaho as they prepare for an impeding capital trial that could start as early as October. You want to get all the puzzle pieces figured out even as you keep finding new pieces, said ABC News law enforcement contributor Richard Frankel, a retired senior FBI official, and former prosecutor in the New York City suburb of Suffolk County. Let me see here. You're working to figure out how they all fit together, Frankel said, speaking generally on investigative procedure for building a case. One, that's a big jump to go from an alleged nonviolent theft. That's one big jump to go from an alleged nonviolent theft and from a family member to being charged with multiple homicides. And 2, 8 years is a long time for nothing to happen. Frankel said, so I would want to know, both as a prosecutor and as an investigator, what did he do in those years in between? ABC contributor Robert Boyce, the retired chief of detectives for the New York City Police Department, said, what you look for now is what was a fundamental moment. And that, and was this a precursor for things to come? I can't see for some reason. Yeah, like pro bono to get his name out there. Yeah, someone to get their name out there. Sorry, I'm just reading through the chat. Because I was reading. I'm sorry if I get quiet for a minute. If you guys are just now joining us, we are going over the Idaho 4. We were discussing the court hearing that just happened. They, rested for the day, and the judge is going to give us his written, just like last time, he's going to give us a written statement whenever he sees fit. Yeah, no, you're good. The Wandering Orphan, you're good. Wondering, I'm okay. Hopefully he did post the wrong attorney. He's 3 feet, 22. Oh. Yeah, you have to go back and watch it. We went over all the new documents that dropped. I don't need a lawsuit. No, we're not. You're not the TikToker. Oh my gosh, that girl. I wonder if she's still hiding. It's an episode of Twilight the Family Attorney. I can't. Let me see. Oh, so okay, yeah. If your chat's stuck, then that's what happens to mine all the time, and you literally just have to like exit and then go. And I'm still scrolling down somewhere. I'm not even down there yet, I think. Anyway. And hello, Jeremy. As a tall woman, I would love to meet this man. Love me a little nugget attorney. That sounds like the guys that actually, in where I'm from, like they were actually all shorter guys. We don't magic, but you just reminded me of those. Yeah. So when was that? Friday? Thursday? I don't even know. When they went to court, they said that they were gonna release the documents, but they haven't yet. I'm actually, is that one or Chad Doberman? One of them I haven't FOIA sent out for, and they should be sending it to me, but I don't know if it's from there. So let me write that down. Because we're going to go over all that. I mean, I'm going to be probably, it's probably going to be, I don't know. Okay, so I see the fireworks. Scroll up. Okay, scroll up to where? Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure that they still have a lot more that they're reviewing. So no more hearings. They said July 14th, but I don't know if that'll be a hearing or if that'll just be, like if he'll be there for that, or if that's just going to be when the judge is going to have his written statement out. And thank you. I'll check my email in just a minute. Oh, Elizabeth, good. Thanks for joining us. You think there was another one this week? Oh, don't be insecure about doing a live. They're pretty fun. I just pretend like no one's there half the time when I do lives. Just pretend like no one's there. I'm just kidding. Actually, I do the opposite. I'm always like, my attention always goes to you guys, but you know. We do have Sarah Boone coming up, that little crazy woman. I wonder if that spigot water is doing her any good. I was going to read you the rest of this. I don't know how, like, okay, so I'm about to say, I don't know how much more is left in this article, but I'll read this to you guys. You're welcome, Wizard. Have a good day. Have an awesome day. Yeah, I want to subscribe over there too. I'm going to write that down because I'll forget. I forget everything. I do. It's so bad. I'm going to be right back. Give me like 2 minutes. I just want to go see what's going on with these dang dogs. So hold on, I'm going to mute it because I have the hardwood floors, the dog's claws will be all over them. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Man, you still can't, oh, you can't see it? Wonder if that's weird. See if I can see it on my side. Yeah. I could put the, let me see. I can put the link to it in the chat for you. And Taylor really said, let me cook. You can't wait for this, Sarah Boone. She talked way too much. She talked way too much. And her just drinking out that water spigot, it just got me going. I was like, good lordy. Okay, so I was going to see, let me see if there's any more documents that are coming out. Looks like that might be all of them. Okay. So I'll read the rest of this really quick. Let's see here. It says, Bryan Kohberger is due to appear at Latah County Courthouse Tuesday afternoon for another in an ongoing series of pretrial hearings connected to the M case. He is currently being held without bail at the Latah County Jail. Bryan Kohberger's team is pushing for a pause in his case while the defense and prosecution argue over the scope of which grand jury materials can or should be released. His lawyers are looking to determine whether there are grounds to dismiss his indictment based on the way the grand jury was selected, according to court documents. That to me is grasping at straws if you're going to try to go after the process. Like you're trying to go after, the grand jury. So it says, where is this? Where's that? Okay. The defense is asking Idaho prosecutors to disclose more information about their investigation, including more detail on their forensic DNA analysis and information obtained from cell phone records, according to court filings. The hearing Tuesday is also expected to focus on Bryan Kohberger's request for more time to decide whether to offer an alibi at trial. As his attorneys say, they are trying to navigate the voluminous and still ongoing discovery process, according to recent court filings. Prosecutors say they wouldn't object to a reasonable extension to decide so long as any potential alibi is offered within the next month. So, okay, hold on one second, sorry. Sorry. You guys doing okay in the chat? Hey there, Joe looking. So Music City Mom, they really didn't have many updates. Oh, I'm like stuck in the up in the chat. And welcome in everybody. I think I missed some people because I was all the way up at the chat. Hey Gina. We didn't get the live video. Is there a live out there? But so we did the we were going through Twitter. Alex Caparillo, I can't say his last name, but he was going fast. He was tweeting it up. Oh, it looks like, oh, okay. This is from, I will just read this little update that he did. It was just about the King Road house, which we saw earlier from Channing. It says some changes happening at the King Road residence right now. University of Idaho says the home and its contents have been released by the court. All of the victims' belongings are being moved out immediately and provided to the families. This will take several weeks. There is no plan for demolition at this point. But it just says that they just gave the road to the University of Idaho. So yeah, they're not going to take a jury in there. You can't find it either? That's so weird. I'll have to put it in the chat. That's crazy. Yeah, this is the one from last night. Maybe I need to check on my page because I could see them on mine, I thought. And I haven't been in any trouble. Even when I got in trouble the other night, when the live, when I couldn't do the ID thing, I thought for sure I was going to get in trouble. I was like, man, I'm going to have a strike and I don't have any strikes. And I'm like such a good person, a good girl over here, you know, not breaking the rules. And then I got off the live and I was fine. I was like, cool. Tuesday trial said if Kohberger doesn't have an alibi, it's most likely that he's saying silent that he was at home and asleep. Can't prove that if alone. Well, you can. That's the thing, though. So, like, I was saying this the other day. If I were at home, I could prove that I was here through technology. My phone's plugged in. It'd be charging at home. My watch would be either on me. Sometimes I fall asleep with it on, or it would be charging. It'd be right beside me, so it'd be on the charger. And then my keys to my car, my house, my everything has my Apple AirPods on it, so they could just ping those bad boys and see where they've been. Also, the telecomatics in your car will tell you like where you've been driving. If you've driven anywhere or if it was just staying idle at home, that'll let you know. Also, if you're on your computer at home, like throughout the night, people get on the computer, get on the laptop, things of that nature. I just think that, I don't know. I feel like they need to provide an alibi though. Something. Because it doesn't look good when they're saying, well, when we find the evidence, that's when we're going to give our alibi. That's what I take from it, so. Street camera could have caught his face. Yeah, some camera could have. That's true. Always be kind. That is. Just because items are at home and charging is not proof that you're there. But it does kind of put you there. Do you know what I mean? It's just something that they can check. Like Bryan's phone was heading towards Moscow and then turned off for 2 hours. And then it was coming back to his house, turned back on. That's a little suspicious. I wonder if where he lives has cameras. I don't think so, though. I don't know. They are student housing, though, so they might. It must be proven. You're right. Yep. They do. They have high definition cameras. Okay. I wasn't sure. I was not sure. Okay, I'm gonna go back to reading. Let me fix my chat again real quick. Sometimes the live chat just, I don't know why, it just is weird. JD said at least one of those traffic cameras probably caught his face in his car. Yeah, definitely the car. And I think that it's going to catch, I think they're going to catch a plate. It did say that the 1112 King House, the one right beside the King Road residence, they did catch a white sedan later identified as a white Hyundai Elantra on camera. Okay, let me see. I was going to read this rest of this to you, but I just keep stopping and then going to other things. Let me check. While I'm on here, so I can remember to check. So I don't want us to get off here too fast and then something just pops up, So it says the hearing Tuesday, which is the one that we heard today, it says it's also expected to focus on Bryan Kohberger's request for more time, decided whether to offer an alibi at trial, and his attorneys say they're trying to navigate the voluminous and ongoing discovery process, according to recent court filings. I read through that. So it says back in Pennsylvania on Saturday, February 8th, 2014. That was the night of my car accident. Like the 8th going into the 9th of 2014. I won't forget that date there, Kohberger. Bryan Kohberger had recently exited a rehab center and rejoined the family, his father told police, according to the records reviewed by ABC News. Home from rehab, Bryan took his sister Melissa's iPhone, which had an estimated value of $400. Oh, it was right underneath of it. Michael Kohberger told police, according to the records. Authorities said, according to the records, Bryan Kohberger paid a friend $20 to pick him up and take him to a local mall where he sold the phone for $200 at an automated kiosk for used electronics. He was wanting to get drugs. I think we can all say that. The records say Bryan Kohberger was charged with misdemeanor theft and offered no further explanation about what happened from there. With any case, we always do a timeline, and on this case, I would want to do a timeline not just of the actual alleged homicide incident minute by minute, but also I would want us to do a behavioral timeline from his teens into his adulthood, because I would want to know who this guy is, Frankel said. It all goes to the assessment of his character. It may also help me when I interview other people about him, because I may know what the right questions are going to ask going in. Kohberger, now 28, was indicted in Idaho last month and charged with 4 counts of first-degree M and 1 count of burglary. At his Idaho arraignment in late May, Bryan Kohberger declined to offer a plea, so the judge entered a plea of not guilty on his behalf. Authorities allege in the early morning hours of November 13, 2022, Bryan Kohberger, a criminology PhD student at Washington State University, broke into an off-campus home and stabbed to death 4 students from the nearby University of Idaho. After a more than 6-week hunt, according to police documents, police zeroed in on Bryan Kohberger as a suspect, tracking his white Hyundai Elantra, cell phone signal data, and recovering what authorities say was his DNA on a knife sheath found next to one of the victims' bodies. That DNA evidence taken from the knife sheath at the crime scene showed a statistical match with a cheek swab directly taken from Bryan Kohberger after his arrest, authorities said in a recent filing. Bryan Kohberger's attorneys pushed back on that analysis in several recent court filings, casting doubt on whether the DNA evidence irrefutably implicates their client, saying the statistical probability is not an absolute, and pointing to what they call a total lack of DNA evidence from the victim to Kohberger's home or car. He was arrested on December 30th, 2022 at his family's home in Pennsylvania after driving cross-country to spend the holidays in Albrightsville. Some of Bryan Kohberger's childhood acquaintances have recalled to NBC News that the quiet but funny person they knew began to alienate some of his friends in high school as his drug habit developed. Casey Arnaz, who went to high school with Kohberger, told ABC News he would ask her for rides that she later found out were to buy drugs. Bryan used me to, drive him around and get heroin. A lot of people are like, well, why are you still friends with him after that? And I'm like, because you got to forgive him. I mean, you can't fault him for being so sucked down this hole. I forgave him. Well, I guess she probably wouldn't want to forgive him now. You know? I think it's going to get very complicated too, Black Widow channel. I can hear Vincent. You're from Pennsylvania, Elizabeth? I'm from Pennsylvania. Well, I was born in Philly, but I live in Ohio. Oh, thank you so much, Brooklyn. I appreciate that. Stop thinking I can hand over the evidence. Everyone wins. Yeah, I don't think he was clean at 17. That's your birthday, Mindy? I didn't know that. So the DoorDasher, yeah, it must be on camera. Jack, yeah. There's like 2 different cameras, I believe, right there. That's why they have the other side of the road kind of where you can't see it too. So, but yeah, that's all I really got for you guys for tonight or today. Let me see. I'll check Twitter and everything one more time before I get off here. And let's see if there's anything that we missed. Doesn't look like it. Looks like they're just talking about the same stuff that we're talking about. So cool. Awesome. Okay. Well, I'll be back on for the next live. I want to do a live over Chad Doerman, the Ohio man that was that did execute his children. I was listening to him plead not guilty the other day. I was listening to it really, really intently because some of the stuff I couldn't hear at first. And I'm going to put the closed captioning on because the details are just horrifying. So I want to make sure that we're all horrified together, But I know it's a case that I want to cover, so I'll make sure that I keep it or we'll keep it going. So thank you guys so much for being here today. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for taking the time to subscribe to the channel, liking the video. It does really help so much. You guys don't even understand. I will see you guys all in the next live, and you guys have a great night. Bye, guys.